Even though the last review was kind of harsh for the Iron Banner pulse in my previous video, we're about to do a 180. The topic today is Peacebond, and it's awesome. It's a great sidearm, and to me, it's rapidly becoming my favorite sidearm, and I can pinpoint the reason why and show you why. It's got an amazing kit to cater to multiple playstyles and builds, all positive, good things in this review. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's going to be kittens, rainbows, sunshine, and smiles. Out of the gate, there are 3 semi-rare things going for it. Number 1, it's a kinetic 3 burst. We don't see too many of those. Number 2, not only is it a kinetic 3 burst, it's stasis, utilizing some stasis perks, and when stasis has a burn. And number 3, it's non-Omelon. Usually the 3 bursts show up as Omelon, but it's getting more common that they're not. Now, my favorite thing, the building block for this review, my absolute favorite thing, before even getting into perks, is the weapon model. This deserves its own section. It's something I really appreciate, and I want to talk about it with you. Its weapon model to me alleviates a shortcoming I have with the 3 burst sidearms, actually most sidearms. And in my opinion, it turns it into one of the best pound for pound pure dueling sidearms in the game. This thing can straight up duel. It is raw, it's brutal. On the screen, I have some other 3 bursts. Vision, Last Dance, High Albedo. What I want to focus on is the reticle in relation to the barrel, where they sit. They do sit in different spots going weapon to weapon. Some of them have rounded, thick, fat barrels like the Omelon ones. Others, like the High Albedo, they have a really high centerpiece right below the reticle. And with each sidearm, you have 3 bullets within a burst. There is a top point of recoil where that barrel settles. An issue I've had with these is how obstructive they are or can be. You can work with them, but in a real-world scenario, in PvP, in CQC, in close quarters combat, 2 things happen a lot: flinch and players knee sliding around you. I'm gonna get back to this. You've been seeing these other sidearms, their starting point. I've had some still frames of their highest point of recoil. Some of them have muzzle flash. Now let's look at Peacebond. Different in a great way, very sleek, and first of all, importantly, the reticle is suspended higher than most, if not all sidearms in the game. It is far from the top of the barrel. This leaves you a lot of room. Now this is combined with the barrel itself being sleek and sloping down. When you overlay it on other sidearms, you see the distance, that green line. That's the reticle to the top of the Omelon sidearm, the barrel. And the green arrow is that area of all that extra weapon barrel space that the Omelon has. The same goes with a High Albedo. Part of that weapon is getting in the way of your target. So you're combining a couple things. Since it's stasis, it doesn't have any real muzzle flash. The Omelons have a ton. The reticle is higher than most, off of the weapon, and the barrel is sloped down. Those combined really help combat flinch when you're knocked off in the act of shooting. You can see everything in front of you. When enemies are knee sliding or on a lower level than you, you can see them perfectly. And before I get into the stats, this is huge to me. This is what makes it have that dueling factor for me. Then with these sidearms, it's combined with the shotgun nerf. You have more room to do well. I can really feel it when dueling. And in my gunfights, I know because I've been using 3 bursts for a long time, all the way back to the Atana days. A 2 burst is a 0.5 TTK, and I have 2 bursted more enemies with this 3 burst sidearm more easily than any other that I've used. It is brutal, a brutal dueling weapon. In the background, you're going to be seeing a lot of bottom tree striker abusing frontal assault with a skullfort, some top tree strider with liar's handshake, some bottom tree dawn, and then some stasis gameplay. I went through the most important thing for me, and it's all just wrapped up in a nice little bow with the stats and perks. The base stats are great. It has the second highest aim assist stat with 69, nice, and they're also known for their stability. It has a high 81 stability stat. Range band wise, it sits in between 15 meters and 19 meters. 15 is base with little to no range perks, and 19 is max with max range perks. Now in PvP, they deal 32 to the head in 3 rounds, and it's a 0.5 TTK if all 6 bullets land. Very fast snap of a finger TTK. For the barrels, any recoil direction perk will make it go to 100 because the base is at 92, and it isn't bad. And remember, any sidearm in the game is very accurate from the hip, and it's very accurate from the air. No mods needed. They're one of the least penalized weapons in the entire game from the air or from the hip. When it comes to barrels, don't be afraid of full bore on this. It has very high base stability, and the weapon model allows indie and all things that would be bad, not so bad. Stat out the most that you can. Hammer forged, full bore, small bore, there's no wrong answer. Magazine accurized or steady rounds, and with some stability help, it can get near 100 stability. That's not a bad thing. You can kit it out with stability or range, you're gonna be fine. PvE wise, the sidearms are within the artifact. Appended, I like magazine perks on all weapons for PvE. When it gets to the perks, you can do multiple things with it. Melee build, stasis build, dueling, a range version, a grenade version. There's multiple ways. We have tunnel vision, reloading after a kill grants 20 aim assist and 20% accuracy. Subsistence is really good now, kills refill the mag. Pulse monitor, very underrated perk. Anytime that your shields are broken, the weapon's gonna reload, even when it's stowed. And if you have it out, you get that refill to the mag, but you also get a handling bump of 45 stat points. and that will make it essentially 100 handling. Killing Wind, it's going to be great for it. A dueling perk. Plus 20 range, 50 mobility, and a 30% reduced aim down sight movement speed penalty. Rangefinder, and it's really crazy that it's in the first column, a 10% increase to zoom when aiming down sights. Under pressure, more stable as the mag gets lower. And the last column, Surrounded. PvE centered, when 3 or more enemies are around, you get 30% more damage. Swashbuckler, this is for your melee build. Stacks to ×5, and ×5 is immediate after a melee final blow, 30% more damage. Demolitionist, it gives you 10% of your grenade energy per kill. Throw the grenade and it's going to reload the sidearm. Harmony, it's a new perk. Final blows with other weapons improve the weapon's damage and performance for a short duration. I haven't used this perk, but it sounds similar to the Recluse Master of Arms. And I'm unsure if it would be great for a sidearm. It does sound really good for longer range primaries, but if you do have this perk, try it with Surprise Attack charged with light. And remember with that mod, when you ready or reload your sidearm, you get increased damage. So you can get a kill with another weapon, ready the sidearm, it's going to proc Harmony and Surprise Attack. Try it out. Snapshot, no complaints, solid perk. Headstone. Precision final blows leave a stasis crystal at the victim's location. Very good for stasis subclasses. It's a very interesting addition to your build for PvE or PvP. I'm thinking about really diving into this and creating something with it. Since it creates crystals and you use things like Whisper of Chains, you're going to be getting that final blow, creating the crystal. You're going to be using that crystal as cover, and it's going to be giving you 25% damage reduction. And if no one's around or you're just moving on from the crystal, destroy it. And if you have on Whisper of Shards, you're going to get a boost to your grenade recharge rate. At all times, as long as you get that headshot final blow and create that crystal, you're not having to depend on ability cooldowns. It's an asset to your stasis subclass. It really is. And the last perk, it just got added recently, like yesterday, Iron Reach. They also added Iron Grip to the pulse. Don't be scared of Iron Reach on this thing, because you get plus 20 range, negative 30 stability. These are known for their high inherent stability, so it's going to bring it down to 51. With how this weapon model is and performs, you're going to be fine as far as controlling it. Collectively, there's so much to love here. More often than not, you're going to come out with a sidearm for a build, unless you get something like Tunnel Vision Surrounded. If you do, rip the dream. But really, focusing in that second column, Surrounded for PvE, Melee Swashbuckler, Grenade Build Demo. You can pair Harmony again with Surprise Attack charged with light, Headstone for stasis, Reach for PvP range. My favorite combos are going to go to Rangefinder, Iron Reach. That should be great. That's that 19-meter shot. Definitely M&K players, that's where you want to go if you're going to use this in the Crucible and not be focusing on, let's say, a melee or a grenade build. I'm interested in killing one Swashbuckler. You saw a lot of melees in this video. I would love to come out of that melee, getting kills with that increased damage and then having Killing Wind with it. Then there's something like Rangefinder Demolitionist. Now, Rangefinder is great for PvE or PvP. PvE, you're getting a little bit more damage with your distance, and sidearms slay lower tier enemies. Remember, it's within the artifact, and getting grenade energy goes a long way. There's too many good ones, and it's going to be 100% up to you on what you want out of your build. I lean heavy into Swashbuckler. I think sidearms are great with it, but I'm also going to be looking for Demo and Iron Reach. The two roles that you saw in the gameplay are Subsistence Swashbuckler, and that one has 100 stability. It's got small bore, flared magwell, and a stability masterwork, so 46 range, 100 stability. And the other one's going to be the Headstone Peacebond. That's Pulse Monitor Headstone, extended barrel, tac mag, and a range masterwork, so 58 range, 86 stability. These things kit out great. I'm loving them and I want more of them, and I'm going to continue to grind for them. This thing's really up there for me. It's a fantastic sidearm. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. If you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. You can use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about Peacebond down below. I do plan to dig more into Headstone a little bit, and if I do get that max range roll with Rangefinder, Iron Reach, max range perks, I might make a separate video. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let's talk about it down below. Are you liking this thing or is it a miss? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.